Apex Legends just released another update yesterday that contains mostly quality of life improvements without any new beepity bops to play with, but unfortunately has had lots of issues with it getting deployed, plus a ton of leaks to discuss. In the patch, there are several new features, including allowing the ability to send invites to the players in the previous game that just carried your sorry ass with their level 5 backpacks to squad up after the match has ended, instead of having to navigate through Origin's friends system, to which even Magellan would have said, nah, fuck that. This coupled with a new privacy option if you prefer being antisocial in a game that requires teamwork, that will disable this last squad invite feature. Additionally, during the intro and legend selection screen, you can now mute those annoying ass Chinese bots that are just trying to appeal to nerds in their parents' basement by having a sexy female AI voice that is turned up way too fucking loud to actually give anybody a boner. They'd constantly spam QQ codes on the screen only to disconnect when actually getting into the match, so you're not only annoyed before the match even begins, but you're shorthanded when it actually does start, so you might as well have just Control-Alt-Deleted the game when it first happened. Speaking of the Chinese, those speed hacking and reporting improvements that Respawn talked about in a prior Reddit post have been implemented to hopefully keep those twat waffles away that are so fucking bad that they accidentally run off the edge of the map when playing because they can't actually control their character with speed hacks on. Lastly, in meaningful changes, Octane's jump pad no longer affects players using Wraith's tactical cooldown into the void ability, since it's not an interdimensional object for an edgy chick. However, even though there isn't much in the patch itself, there have been 2 hotfixes released in the last 24 hours because of injected errors, such as having accidentally added in a leaving match penalty, which should also curb those annoying spam bots, and people that have absolutely no faith in their window licking teammates, although it is kind of bad if your teammate is actually a window licker and you know that they're not going to survive the next gunfight. But that has now been disabled, with no ETA is when it'll be reintroduced, like Jay-Z would say, along with a bug that seemingly reset all progression for players because of a server that didn't have persistent state data, but everybody's state data has been reverted to when before the patch just went live. This doesn't even count the numerous complaints of the game itself not being able to start at all after the client update. I'm so glad Respawn thinks that their cadence of releasing fewer patches that are supposedly better tested has definitely led to patches that are completely fucked on release. Their superiority complex and goodwill of the community is starting to wear thin, especially amongst YouTube content creators, although with how badly Fortnite is currently shooting itself in the foot with its latest patch, Respawn somehow isn't getting as big of a middle finger as they deserve. Something that's also happening since this patch are screenshots of players somehow getting skins in RNG boxes for a yet-to-be-released L-Star LMG actual melt machine, but this weapon has been leaked before, and considering that many skins plus promo materials have already been data mined, it's most likely the next new weapon for Season 1, as PlayStation points out on its Apex Legends page that there will be at least 1 more new weapon incoming. Also on that page, it says that 2 new items will be introduced, of which there are plenty that have been uncovered by data miners. In terms of weapons themselves, there are 5 weapons found in files, and they all happen to be anti-Titan weapons from Titanfall 2. The EPG, the ARL, which kind of looks like the Sidewinder, the Charge Rifle, which is basically what the Havoc Select Fire mode in single shot is, the Softball and Shoulder Rocket SRAM V2, which appears to be the Archer Heavy Rocket. There are 3 additional weapons found that were Titan ordinances in Respawn's previous game, with an incendiary trap from Scorch, a rocket pod, which seems like what Tone or Monarch would have used, and finally the Tripwire from Ion, because everybody's favorite type of shit to die from is a set and forget item. Also in things that go boom, a Satchel Charge model has been spotted that might join the Frag, Arcstar, and Thermite for pickup nades. It seems weird that we've got Titan and anti-Titan weapons in the files when there are no Titans currently in Apex Legends, but that might soon change as there are new audio files that reference Titan, specifically the infamous standby for Titanfall phrase, along with Pathfinder voice lines that reference not only Titans but other forms of AI like Spectres and Reapers from the prior Respawn offering, as well as leaks of the Dragon Flyers that would gobble up grunts like Pac-Man on certain maps like Boneyard, that remain to be seen if these will be similar to the AI found in limited time modes from Fortnite, or if they'll just be normal NPCs like the dinosaurs near water treatment. Additionally, in the realm of popular things from their other games, both wall running and super jumping references have been found that might be available to a new legend as a passive ability. Also in legend leaks, Wattson, the character that's furthest along and not just a mainframe that owns a Jeopardy, a new asset for one of that character's abilities, an electrical fence or Tesla trap, has been found that might be an item similar to caustic gas traps that causes an arc star-like effects to the enemies that trip them. Additionally, another leaked legend, Nomad, has what's named in files as a loot compass, which could pinpoint the next care package drop, similar to Pathfinder, having the next circle being revealed, or it could be a passive that points the legend in the direction of one of those loot robots, because everybody knows when you see a robot, you fucking punch it. Lastly, in new legends are screenshots of in-game icons for tons of them, but some of the names on these legends are TBD, including the previously mentioned Nomad and Wattson. So, even though the complaints are starting about Respawn's lack of content updates, even though the game has only been out for 2 months thus far, there's still plenty of things that are hanging around in files waiting to be activated and further worked on, but it's unclear if some or all of these things are just left over from the Titanfall series, or if they're eventually going to be included in Apex Legends. Anyways, what do you think of the patch, plus the leaks I've mentioned? I've been DawSchwanz27, out like Glenn say there, finally for the New York Rangers. Until next time.